Piktor's Transformations, a fairy tale by Hermann Hesse. No sooner had Piktor entered paradise than he found himself standing before a tree of two genders all at once, man and woman. Piktor greeted the tree with courtesy and inquired, "Are you the tree of life?" But when the tree remained silent and in place of silence the serpent offered reply, Piktor turned and continued on his way. He had eyes for everything, all things vastly delighted him. "I am home," he explained. He felt close to the source of life. And again he saw a tree with two crowns, sun and moon. Said Piktor, "Are you the tree of life?" The sun nodded and laughed, the moon nodded and smiled. And there stood Piktor, surrounded by flowers, the most wonderful flowers, with colors bright, with eyes shining of delight. Some nodded and laughed, some nodded and smiled, others kept quite distant for a while. They were silent, drunk, sunk in themselves, as if drowned in a perfume of every fragrance. One sang the purple song, one sang the dark blue slumber song. One of the flowers had big blue eyes, another reminded him of teenage love. One smelled of the garden of childhood. Its sweet fragrance sang like the voice of the mother. Another laughed at him and stuck out a spiral red tongue. He licked it. Oh, it tasted strong and wild, of resin and honey and woman's kiss. In the midst of all these flowerings, Piktor stood, filled with longing and anxious joy. His heart drummed loudly, like a summons to unknown worlds, to enchanted realms. A bird saw Piktor sitting, a rainbow bright glittering, all colors twitter flittering. Piktor questioned the rainbow bird. He said, "O bird, where can I find true happiness?" "True happiness," laughed the rainbow bird with golden beak. "Happiness, good luck, O friend, is everywhere, in mountain and valley, in flowers and crystal." With these bold words, the gay mottled bird rustled its feathers, preened its neck, winked and giggled and sat motionless, oh yes, quite notionless, stock still in the green grass, and lo and behold, changed into a colorful flower. Its feathers became leaves, its claws became roots, a plant in glance of colorful dance. Said Piktor with amazement, "Chance!" and quick as a wink the flower blinked, and then sang roots, sang blossoms, upward floated bright a butterfly alight. Oh, Piktor made big eyes. Meanwhile, the new butterfly, the happy rainbow flowering bird butterfly, fluttered like ribbons of brilliant sunlit colors woven about the astonished Piktor. It settled down slowly as a snowflake to the ground at Piktor's feet, gently exhaled, and at once changed into a brilliant crystal whose edges gleamed with ruby light, as bells heard bright at night, a merry white on grass as green as emerald. But its homeland, the inner dwelling of the earth, seemed to recall it. The ruby crystal grew smaller and smaller and smaller, but then, impelled by an overwhelming urge, Piktor seized the vanishing stone and held it tight. He gazed upon its magic light with sheer delight and felt ignite within his heart insight for every happiness. Suddenly the serpent spiraled on the branch of a dead tree and hissed with a sigh into his ear. "The stone will remake you in a shape you fancy. Quick, quick, make a wish, fast, before you lose it." "Oh no," thought Piktor, afraid to lose good luck. Without even a moment to consider, he made a wish and transformed himself into a tree. Piktor became a tree. The tree embraced the ground with sturdy roots. It stretched itself upward. Leaves and twigs sprouted from its side. In this our Piktor took great pride. The tree sucked with eager fibers deep within the cooling earth and waved its leaves high into the blue. Beetles lived in its bark. Rabbits and hedgehogs lived at its feet. Birds lived in its branches. The Piktor tree felt happy, and it did not count the passing years. Indeed, many years passed before Piktor understood that his happiness was not perfect. Only slowly did he learn to see with tree eyes. But finally he got the knack, and he felt sad. Why? Because all around him in paradise he saw that beings changed often and very fast. Oh yes, everything flowed into a magical whoosh of eternal, endless becoming. He saw flowers turn into precious stones or swoosh past as flashing birds. He saw many companion trees disappear. One tree simply melted and became a spring. Another became a crocodile. Another paddled about blissfully, plumbed with the cool, pliant pleasure of playful fish. New games, new forms, everything topsy-turvy. Elephants exchanged their costume with rocks, giraffes their costume with flowers. But as for Piktor, well, Piktor never changed, always the same, and there you have it. And as he understood this matter of his condition oh so well, Piktor's happiness faded like a dream. he began to feel the weight of years, and he more and more rehearsed the tired, venerable, serious, troubled demeanor of some of us may observe in very old trees. Why, anybody can in fact detect this mood on any day she pleases, in horses, birds, people, in all sentient beings actually. Whatever or whoever lacks the knack for change finds herself stunted and estranged, sadly shorn, beautiful lorn. One day a young girl got lost in that plot of paradise, lost with blonde hair and blue dress. Singing and dancing, this golden child ran amidst the trees. She had never even thought of wishing for the gift of transformation. Many a clever monkey smooched her a grin, many a bush groomed her fondly with a tendril, and many a tree threw down blossom, nut, or apple for her to relish, but she paid no mind. When Piktor the tree saw the girl, he was seized with a great longing, a great need for happiness that he had never felt before. At the same time, a deep thought of remembrance overcame him. Back then, when every change was possible, life had glowed inside him as never before. He remembered the bird that had laughed, and the tree with the sun and the moon. He was gripped by the haunting doubt that he had overlooked something very important, that he had neglected to pay attention to something vast, and that the serpent's advice had not been beneficial. The girl heard a rustling in the leaves of the Piktor tree. She looked up at him and felt inside her something stir. And with a sudden pang in her heart, she discovered new thoughts, new desires new dreams. Compelled by a mysterious attraction, she sat down beneath the tree. The tree felt lonely to her, lonely and sad, but at the same time beautiful, with the touching nobility of silence in its sadness. The sing-song of the trees, so softly sighing leaves, beguiled her. She rested against the roughened trunk and felt the tree shudder deeply. She felt the same deep shudder in her heart. Her heart ached strangely. Clouds darkened the sky of her soul. Slow tears fell like heavy raindrops. Why was this happening? Why so much suffering? Why did her heart yearn to fly from her chest and embrace this tree and merge with it? To become one with its solitude? The Piktor tree trembled softly to its roots. So intensely did the Piktor tree draw all life forces together towards the girl in a longing for union. Alas, that the serpent had played him false. Alas, that he stood fixed as a tree forever. Oh, how blind and foolish he had been! Had he really been such a bumpkin? A stranger to the mystery of life? No, no, even then he must have glimpsed the secret darkly. And oh, with how much sadness and intimate insight did he now again recall the tree of two genders all at once, man and woman. A bird flew down, alighted, a bird red and green, a bold and beautiful bird flew down, alighted, from bow of archer flighted. The girl caught sight, saw from its beak, so crimson bright, like harvest moon upon the night, a merry white, which, falling quiet upon the grass, made fast her sight with great delight. And so she fetched it. Indeed, it was a crystal, a stone of might, forever dwelling in the light. No sooner had the girl placed this magic stone in her white hand when the wish inside her came true, the wish that filled her heart. She became one with the tree, sprouting from its trunk as a strong young branch and quickly growing upward. All was good, and the world, oh yes, also in good order, and paradise, true paradise, discovered. Piktor was no longer an old troubled tree. Now he sang loudly, "Victoria! Victoria!" He was transformed, and because this time he had achieved the true eternal transformation, he became quite entirely whole instead of half. Why? Because he had the knack, and he could continue to transform as often and as much as he desired. The magical stream called becoming flowed constantly through his blood, and he acted his roles in the rising play of creation that rehearsed itself every hour, on and so forth for eternity. He became a deer, he became a fish, He became a man and a snake, a cloud and a bird, but in every form or shape he remained entirely whole, coupled as two in one. He had moon and sun, man and woman inside him, and he flowed as twin rivers through every land, and took his place as doubled star in heaven.